Hey, what's up guys? I'm back here with another video showing you guys, this is part 2, my second video of showing my entire collection of DVDs and Blu-rays when it comes to wrestling, WWE stuff, and all that crazy shit, sports entertainment, whatever you want to call it nowadays. WWF, my generation, WWF, awesome. Fell in love with it since I was a kid, since I was like 4 years old. And I've never stopped watching it. I'm a really big wrestling nerd, and I like everything. I just don't like WWE. I like WCW, ECW back in the days. I do like New Japan. I love New Japan wrestling. I love Ring of Honor, PWG, Shikara, all that great stuff. And so I'm here to talk about some of the DVDs that I owe, which I do have a lot. So I'm gonna divide this into many parts, maybe like 3 or 4 parts, because I do have a lot to cover. And most of these DVDs that I'm going to show you guys are available on the WWE Network, which if you guys are into streaming, it's a perfect option for you guys. However, I'm not a streaming guy, so I do collect the physical media, physical copy. That's the way I do it. That's the way I go. And I am a big fan of physical copy. I like to have it on my shelf. It looks beautiful. If I don't have it in my shelf, I don't feel like I owe it, and I like to owe part of history. And streaming is good in a way. You save a lot of space, but at the same time, imagine if the WWE Network goes down or they're gonna shut it off, then you don't have anything to show, and you don't have your collection. You can't watch it whenever you want. So, and not only that, the WWE Network shows you some parts of it. It doesn't show you the complete thing. So these physical media stuff, they show you the entire show or the entire special. So without delaying any further, I am going to start with this box set here called Raw, WWE Raw, WWF Raw. This is the best of seasons 1 and 2, which was back in 1993 and 94 when they first started, which I actually do like a lot. These shows ran, instead of 3 hours like nowadays, 1 hour. They used to be 1 hour, they used to be taped, they weren't live. And they're really fun because they're very natural, very, okay, let's see what comes up. It wasn't so scripted as it is nowadays. Everything is very scripted nowadays. So that, to me, that kind of sucks. I rather the natural stuff. Bobby the Brain Heenan was super cool, and Vince McMahon was a commentator. It was really fun. They had really cool matches. And this is a 4-disc set that has like 12 hours of the best of seasons 1 and 2. It's not the complete seasons of 1 and 2. It's just the best of it. So, and then but yeah, it was really cool. Here I got a 93. The first episodes, that had The Undertaker versus Damien Demento, the 1-2-3 Kid versus Razor Ramon. That's the one the 1-2-3 Kid pinned Razor Ramon to become a superstar. Lex Luger versus Crush. It has the Yokozuna Body Slam competition on the USS Intrepid. It has Bam Bam Bigelow versus Bret Hart. A bunch of good matches from 1993 and a bunch of storylines. There was a match that's also on this set, that it was the one that Ric Flair versus Mr. Perfect, the loser leaves town. I think that was a really cool concept, a really cool match. And this is from 1993, season 1, the best of season 1. Very natural, very cool flow. The crowd was really cool. It was a smaller, way smaller venue than what they do it nowadays, and very less produced. Now it's very produced. And then this is the best of season 2, which is 1994. They're starting to mature a little bit. They started to show more about the Heartbreak Hotel with Shawn Michaels. They know what to do more with their time lapse, which was 1 hour shows, and that was really fun. They had matches with a lot of jobbers, and then at the end you would have your feature match, which was like kind of like the main event, and it featured 2 known wrestlers fighting. I'm a fan of jobbers. I thought it was really cool. It had the debut of the Heartbreak Hotel here. It had a sumo match between Yokozuna and Earthquake, which is funny that Earthquake was really a sumo wrestler before getting into the WWF, and Yokozuna that portrays the gimmick of a sumo wrestler. He's not even Japanese. He's not even a sumo wrestler. He was never a sumo wrestler. He's a Samoan guy, but they put him up as since he was a big guy, they put him as a sumo wrestler, and he played the part perfect. His manager was Mr. Fuji, and he represented Japan and all that stuff. So it was really cool. It has the $10,000 challenge between Tatanka and Nikolai Volkov. It has Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon. Undertaker versus Kwang. If you guys remember Kwang, that used to be Savio Vega under a mask. It has Yokozuna defending the WWF Championship against Randy Macho Man Savage. The British Bulldog versus Tatanka. Bret Hart versus 1-2-3 Kid. Again, it shows in details all the stuff that it's included here in the best of season 2. Really cool set to have. Brings a lot of memory, nostalgia from that era of the early Monday Night Raw. Awesome show, awesome stuff. Great creation. Whoever came up with the concept of having Monday Night Wrestling, badass idea. It started everything, and later in a couple of years after, WCW jumped on board and declared war on the WWF, and they made their own version of Monday Nights called Nitro, and it was one of the greatest moments in history for wrestling. One of the best moments when they were going at it for the power of the ratings and stuff. So yeah, really cool box set here, Monday Night Raw. Got it a long time ago. Then I got here Hardcore Edition. This is the greatest hits and misses of Mick Foley, Cactus Jack. What can I say about this? This is a really cool 3-disc set, and it also has a bonus hardcore disc. So it's actually 4-disc, and it's a really cool set here. It has a bunch of great matches. Cactus Jack versus Chris Candido from '94 from Smoky Mountain Wrestling. It has WWF stuff. It has a lot of ECW stuff. It has the Royal Rumble match against Triple H that he had in 2000, and the Sandman and the Cactus Jack versus the Sandman in 1995 in a Texas Death Match. It has a lot of cool stuff here in this set. If you're a Mick Foley fan, this guy was really cool. Mankind, Cactus Jack, whatever you want to call him, really cool. It also has the 1999. I don't know if you folks are familiar with the January 4th, 1999, when in WCW Monday Nitro, Tony Schiavone mentioned that guys, don't even bother tuning into the USA Network, because we got the results and we're gonna spoil them for you. The WWE's new champion is Mick Foley. Yep, you heard it right. Mick Foley has defeated The Rock to win their championship, which it totally backfired, because everybody that was watching WCW, and WCW was really hot back in '99, they were beating WWF by a lot in the ratings, and everybody that was watching WCW just flipped the channel just to see Mick Foley defeat The Rock and win the WWF championship. And ever since January 4th, 1999, the WWF defeated WCW in the ratings and killed WCW. But it was partly or mostly thanks to that comment that Tony Schiavone said, which wasn't Tony Schiavone's fault. I believe Eric Bischoff told him to say it on the air, since WCW was live and Monday Night Raw was, one of them was live, and then the next week was taped, and the next week, so that week was taped, so they had the results and they wanted to spoil it for the fans, but they messed themselves up. It backfired big time, and everybody switched channels to the USA Network to watch Mick Foley beat The Rock for the WWF Championship. That was a great moment in history. It was like one of the first times that we see a underrated superstar, out of shape, weird looking, actually win the WWF Championship. That was awesome. Everybody was into it. I'm a WWF guy. I would watch WCW whenever WWF would go on commercial, but definitely I was really excited for Mankind and his victory against The Rock on that day of January 4th, 1999. That match is also included on this disc, on this set. And the hardcore bonus disc has matches against You know, Mick Foley versus Randy Orton from Backlash 2004. Mick Foley versus Edge from the WrestleMania 22. That was a really good match too. And Mick Foley versus Ric Flair at SummerSlam 2006. So it's packed with cool stuff and awesome promos and a bunch of matches. There is a lot of matches here. It's very cool if you guys are into the Mick Foley era. Then I got one here that I believe it's worth a lot of money now because it's out of print or it's not available anywhere. And this is called Road Warriors. So this is the set, the 2-disc set that has a bunch of cool stuff, cool matches with Road Warrior, Animal, and Hawk. They're known in the WWF as the Legion of Doom. One of my favorite tag teams. Every time I search top tag teams of all time, these guys come up as first, number one, the greatest tag team ever. In my opinion, my favorite tag team is Demolition, but that's because I've always watched the WWF. I didn't know much about them. I read about them through magazines and stuff. You know, Pro Wrestling Illustrated and Inside Wrestling and all that stuff. So I knew about them. I just didn't see much from them. So I was more into like Demolition, Axe and Smash. But definitely awesome. I met Road Warrior Animal, really nice guy. I took a picture with him. And Hawk, of course, he passed away. And you know, it sucks that he had to go. And but yeah, these people had charisma, they had talent, they were strong as hell. They had the makeup, they had the look, they had the spikes, they had the music. These people were awesome, good promos. They had a great manager, Paul Ellering. That guy was a real manager. He booked their trips, he booked their flights, he booked everything. So he was a real life manager to them, and it was a really good time in wrestling. Really great time in tag team wrestling. Very exciting. Packed with extra features. 2-disc set. It has stuff from a lot of stuff from NWA Georgia Championship from 1983, which is really cool. That is not only WWF stuff. It has stuff from the AWA, the ESPN Championship Wrestling from 1985. It has stuff from 86, the Russian chain match against Ivan and Nikita Koloff. It has really cool stuff. It has the 1991 match on the WWF Challenge against Demolition. So yeah, it's an awesome set. It's packed with awesome features and a bunch of cool matches. It has the extras. It has a Hawk tribute, exclusive commentary by Jim Ross and Animal, promos, interviews, music videos, and a lot of more stuff. And really cool set if you guys are into the Road Warriors. Legion of Doom, they fucking kicked ass, especially in the late 80s, early 90s. 91 I think was their like best time. And yeah, the Doomsday Device, their finishing move was really cool. And here you go the back, here you go the front. Awesome fucking tag team, super cool team back in the 80s and 90s. Then I got a DVD here, which I kind of don't agree much with it, but it came out and I have it. It's called the Self-Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior. It was tough to watch because I am a huge Ultimate Warrior fan, and for the WWF to put out a DVD like this was kind of harsh. And basically it talks about like how the Ultimate Warrior, Jim Hellwig, you know, kind of like destroyed himself, like how he was on the top of, you mean, everybody goes through tough times and whatever, but you don't release a DVD like this. It's like bashing the crap out of him, like if he was on his way to like hell or something. So not a big fan of this DVD in particular, but yeah, it came out and it you know, it shows like, you know, his greatest rivalries against, you know, Ravishing Rick Rude, Andre the Giant, his WrestleMania 6 victory against Hogan. It has a couple of matches. It has his match, the steel cage match against Rick Rude in SummerSlam. That was a pretty good one. His match against Randy Macho Man Savage in WrestleMania 7, the retirement match. And the Honky Tonk Man Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam 88. To me, the Ultimate Warrior was awesome. My third favorite wrestler of all time, of course. Hogan and Macho Man, number 1, number 2. And the Warrior being number 3. So basically, it tells you that the Warrior was very, very good, and then he just kind of destructed himself, and you know, he held Vince McMahon for ransom in one of the pay-per-views. Told him that he wouldn't come out if he wasn't paid X amount of money, and he kind of like blackmailed him. And then he started going downhill after that. I heard that they kind of regret doing this, but you know, it is what it is. It's out there, and some people have it. If not, you gotta go out and see it. It's pretty cool. Then I have this this set here on Blu-ray. It's called Wargames, and this is WCW's most notorious matches. It's a 2-disc set, and it just includes a bunch of Wargames matches, which Wargames was a pretty cool concept. It had the 2 rings with the steel cage, and it had basically 2 teams, and they had it going at each other, but within time limit. You know, the people would come in. So sometimes it could be 2-on-1 or 3-on-2, and you would have to wait till your next partner would come in. So this is pretty cool, and it really good concept. I believe Dusty Rhodes came up with this concept. Yeah, Dusty Rhodes is the one that came up with this crazy ass concept. But yeah, really good idea, and pretty good Blu-ray set there. Then I have a really good box set here, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paul Heyman, and this is the Paul Heyman DVD. Really cool DVD set here. This is a 3-disc set. The career of one of the greatest managers of all time, perhaps one of the best talkers ever on the mic. This is Paul Heyman, and he is the mind behind ECW. He ran ECW for all those years. He did very good at it. What can I say, man? This guy's a genius when it comes to wrestling. He's a great writer for wrestling. He's a great promo. And if you like Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar and all that stuff, I highly suggest you check this DVD out. It's very, very good. Very, very well explained from his early career until now. Yeah, man, really, really cool. And he says a lot of stuff that will shock you here. I recommend this. If you've never seen this, highly recommend this. You gotta watch this. And so for now, this is it for now. And I'm gonna show you guys what else I have in my next video. It's gonna be a long one. I have a lot of stuff to show you guys, but until next time, this is what I got for now. I'm gonna go back to my shelf and pick up my next stack and show you guys what else I have when it comes to wrestling stuff. Paul Heyman set. I highly recommend this one, man. This is really good. If you haven't seen it, there's some stuff on the WWE Network, but it's not all of it. So you guys gotta go buy 7 hours talking about Paul Heyman and awesome footage. The Dangerous Alliance and all that stuff is in here. His early WCW stuff, how he got into business, you know, what he's gone through and all that stuff. So highly recommend this. Alright guys, until next time, I'll be back soon. I hope you guys enjoyed this show, and there's plenty more of wrestling videos, wrestling collections that I have here. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.